All right, so welcome to our deep dive today.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at this guidebook called Full Moon Fusion 2024.
Okay.
It's a journey of alignment and co-creation, it says,
Mm.
and it's by David Prorock and Natalie Pendergrass.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, and they've also got contributions from the Himalayan Yoga and Meditation Center.
Nice.
So we're basically going to be looking at how this guidebook helps people use the energy of the full moon
Oh, cool.
for personal growth. Like each month.
I read that.
There's a different full moon,
Mm.
and it has a theme, and they've got breathing techniques and reflective questions.
So it's like a year-long program.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And they've even got some stuff about AI in here, which is interesting.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, I think the main thing that kind of jumps out from this guidebook is this idea of mindful, authentic expression.
Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
How do you think that plays into this whole full moon thing?
Well, I think it's really about being present with yourself. Like your thoughts and your emotions, your physical sensations.
Right.
And then taking all of that and kind of channeling it into action.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly aligned with who you are, not just what you think you should be doing.
Right. So it's taking all that inner stuff and then expressing it authentically.
Yeah. And they give you a lot of different tools to do that, breath work,
Yeah.
journaling, but then also they talk about AI-generated art, which is kind of wild.
Yeah, we'll have to get to that.
Yeah, definitely.
But okay, so we've got this framework. We've got this idea of mindful, authentic expression.
Right.
Who are these people, David and Natalie?
So they both have really strong backgrounds in personal growth
Okay.
and mindfulness.
Okay.
David is really into innovative techniques,
Mhm.
and then Natalie is more into holistic wellness.
So they're coming at it from different angles.
Exactly.
Good.
It's a really interesting collaboration, and then they've got the Himalayan Yoga and Meditation Center involved.
Oh.
So it's they're blending this ancient wisdom with, their modern perspectives.
Right. You've got tradition and you've got innovation.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay, we've got the book, we've got the hosts,
Mm-hmm.
we've got the structure of following the moon cycles.
Right.
But how does this actually work?
So if you open up the guidebook,
Okay.
each month, like we said, has a specific theme.
Right.
And then it kind of takes you deeper into that theme through different practices, breath work is a big one.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Each month has a specific breathing technique.
Okay.
And it's designed to help you really embody that month's energy.
Okay, that makes sense.
So for example, in February, the snow moon,
Okay.
it's about purity and stillness.
Yeah, February's kind of like that, isn't it?
It is.
Kind of quiet. Still.
Yeah, exactly. So they have this breathing technique called the snowy silence breath.
Oh, wow. I like that.
I know, right?
Okay.
And it's mimicking that stillness, how nature is during winter.
So you're breathing in that stillness.
Exactly.
Okay,
It's a very slow, measured breath.
Mm.
It encourages you to turn inward
Interesting.
and find that quiet space within.
So it's not just about relaxing.
No.
It's about actually creating that inner state
It
that
is.
matches the theme.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
And then they have these reflective questions for each month as well.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
And they're not just surface level journaling prompts. They
Right.
really make you think.
Okay.
They prompt you to examine how those monthly themes are showing up in your own life.
Oh, that's interesting.
How is purity and stillness showing up in your life in February?
Right, okay.
So it's not just this abstract concept. It's
Yeah.
how does this actually apply to me?
Right, okay. I like that.
It's really cool.
Okay, so let's jump ahead a few months.
Hey.
Let's say it's July,
Right.
the buck moon.
Yeah, July's the buck moon.
What's the focus there?
So July is all about transformation and strength. Yep.
It's acknowledging the change that's always happening, both
Mhm.
within us and in the world around us,
Right.
and then finding the strength to navigate that change.
Yeah, that makes sense. July is kind of a turning point in the year, usually.
It is, yeah.
What's the breath work for that one?
So for July, they have the transformation affirmation breath.
Okay. Is that a fiery
It's actually
breath?
not so much fiery,
Okay.
but it is energizing.
Right.
It's basically you inhale while affirming your core self with a mantra,
Okay.
like I am.
Okay.
And then as you exhale, you extend your limbs and you pair that movement with a positive affirmation.
So you're moving with the breath.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And saying these affirmations.
And those affirmations are connected to the theme of transformation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So something like, I am evolving,
I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's really
So
powerful.
you're not just like breathing deeply, you're really anchoring it
Yes.
with these words.
That support your own personal transformation.
Yes, exactly. It's about embodying that theme on a physical and mental level.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And then, of course, they have the reflective questions for July as well,
Of course.
which prompt you to consider how transformation is showing up in your life.
Okay.
Like, what changes are you going through? What strengths do you need to cultivate?
Right.
So again, it's about connecting that universal energy of the buck moon
Right.
to your own personal experiences.
Okay.
And that's a pattern throughout the guidebook.
I see.
It's not just abstract concepts.
Yeah.
It's about making them tangible
Right.
and relevant to your own journey.
I like that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's like they're giving you the framework
Yeah,
and the tools,
exactly.
but ultimately it's up to you to apply it to
Yeah.
your own life.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool. Speaking of tools, there's one we haven't talked about yet that I think you'll find really interesting.
Oh, you mean the AI?
Yeah.
This is where it gets like future a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So they incorporate this thing called booty.ai.
Booty.ai.
It's like an enlightened guide,
An enlightened guide.
but it's powered by AI. So
Okay, so it's like having this like wise sage
yeah,
that you can ask questions to.
exactly.
But it's a computer.
It is a computer, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's drawing from like this massive database of wisdom teachings, spiritual texts, psychological insights.
Okay.
So it's not just like giving you generic advice. It's
Oh, yeah.
actually like synthesizing information and applying it to your specific situation.
Wow. Okay, so tell me more about how this Booty.ai works within the program.
Okay, so think of it like almost like a personalized oracle,
Okay.
but it's powered by AI.
Right.
So you can ask it questions
Right.
related to, your personal growth or
Right.
the monthly themes.
Mhm.
And it draws from all this wisdom to
Mhm.
offer you like tailored guidance.
So it's not just like spitting out
Yeah.
generic advice.
No, not at all.
It's actually like
Yeah.
understanding my situation.
Yeah, it's like bridging that gap
Okay, but
between the teachings and your own experiences,
Okay.
helping you see how it applies to you.
so okay, let's say I'm working with this July theme
Right.
of transformation
Mhm.
and I'm feeling like kind of stuck.
Okay.
Like I don't know what I need to change
Yeah,
or even how to start.
that's a common feeling.
Could I like ask Booty.ai about that?
Yeah, you could say something like,
Yeah.
I'm feeling overwhelmed by this idea of transformation. Where do I even begin?
Yeah.
And then Booty.ai might, suggest that you focus on small changes
Okay.
or maybe encourage you to explore what brings you joy.
So it's like
Yeah.
helping me break it down
Exactly.
into smaller steps.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And giving me some direction.
That's cool. So it's like
Yeah.
I have this like wise mentor
Yeah, like a 247 mentor.
Exactly.
Right in your pocket.
whenever I need it.
Ex-
But I don't know, part of me is like
Get it?
hesitant to
Yeah.
rely on AI
I understand.
for something like
Yeah.
personal growth.
It's not meant to replace
Yeah.
human interaction
Right, right.
or the wisdom of like a real teacher.
Okay.
It's just another tool.
Okay.
Like an extra resource.
So it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm thinking of it like a GPS.
Oh, I like
For my like personal growth journey.
Yeah.
It's showing me
It's guiding you the way.
you're still the one driving,
Right, exactly.
making the choices.
Yeah, I like that analogy.
Yeah. And don't forget, they also have this whole community aspect,
Oh, right, yeah.
like a digital community
Okay.
where you can connect with other people,
Right.
share experiences, ask questions, support each other.
So it's like you've
Yeah.
got the tech, but you've also got that
Wow.
human connection.
Exactly. You're not alone on this journey.
Yeah, that's important.
It is.
Okay, so we've got the themes, we've got the breath work.
We've got the reflective questions. We've got this AI companion.
Yeah.
But let's go back to this idea of mindful, authentic expression.
Wow, yeah, that's a big one.
Like, how does that really
yeah,
fit
that's good.
into?
It's like the core of their
That's-
philosophy.
Okay.
It's about cultivating that deep awareness
Mm-hmm.
of yourself,
Yeah.
your thoughts, emotions, sensations,
Yeah.
and then expressing them
Oh, it's-
authentically.
So it's not
Yeah.
just about being
It's
self-aware.
about taking action.
Right.
It's about expressing who you truly are.
Okay. So taking that inner experience.
Yeah,
And giving it some outward form.
exactly.
Whether that's through like
It could be words, movement, art.
art. Yeah.
Even that AI-generated art we talked about,
Right. Yeah.
that can be a tool
Okay.
for expressing yourself.
So bridging that gap
Yes.
between the internal and the external.
Exactly. And it's through that process
Right.
that we start to like manifest our dream.
Okay. Let's say.
Create a life that's truly aligned.
Okay, with our desires.
I see how it all connects now.
Yeah.
The moon cycles, the practices, the technology.
It all weaves together.
And this whole philosophy, it's like a very...
It's a holistic approach to personal growth.
Yeah, I like
addressing all these different aspects of ourselves and bringing them together.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think that's what makes it so unique.
Yeah.
It's not just about one thing.
Right.
It's about creating that synergy between all these different elements.
So it's like you're working with the energy of the moon.
Yes.
Your own inner wisdom, this community, and all these different tools.
This powerful stuff.
To like become more self-aware.
Exactly.
Express yourself authentically.
Yes.
Okay, so someone's listening to this.
Right.
And they're like, wow, this sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Where can I learn more?
They can go to fullmoonfusion.com.
fullmoonfusion.com.
All the details are there.
Perfect. We'll put that in the show notes. Great.
So we've covered a lot.
Oh,
the structure, the practices, the tech, the philosophy. As we're wrapping up this deep dive,
okay.
what would you say is like the most important takeaway?
I think the main takeaway is that Full Moon Fusion offers this really powerful and unique approach to personal growth.
Okay.
But even if you don't do the program, you can still apply these principles.
Oh, okay. What do you mean?
Like, think about the idea of aligning with the rhythms of nature.
Okay.
You don't need a guidebook to pay attention to the moon.
Right.
You can start incorporating breathwork or journaling into your routine.
Okay.
You can seek out communities
that
support your growth.
So it's about taking those concepts and finding ways to like...
make them your own.
Yeah, integrate them.
Exactly.
Into my own life.
It's about empowering yourself to create the life you want.
I love that.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's like taking ownership of my own...
of your journey.
Personal growth.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great.
And, you know, thinking about Full Moon Fusion, it's made me realize we can apply these principles more broadly.
Oh, interesting. Tell me more about that.
So we've talked about personal growth.
Right.
But what about, like, work life?
Oh.
How often are we working against our natural rhythms?
Oh, all the time.
Right. Pushing ourselves too hard.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of that.
But what if we brought these principles into our work?
Okay.
Aligning our work with our values.
Okay.
Creating a rhythm that supports us. Expressing ourselves authentically.
Wow, that would be...
it's a different way of thinking.
revolutionary.
Right. Not just fitting into a schedule.
Yeah.
But letting those rhythms guide us.
I like that.
And it doesn't have to be complicated.
Okay.
Just start paying attention.
Okay.
Notice when you feel energized, how your mood changes.
Sure.
Feel the seasons change.
So taking cues from nature and from my own body
Exactly.
and using that to make choices that support me.
Yes, instead of draining you.
Right. Okay, that's really powerful.
It is, and we're all part of these larger cycles, these rhythms. We can ignore them, or we can dance with them.
I like that. Dance with them.
It's choice.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I want to leave our listeners with that.
Okay.
Start noticing those rhythms.
Yeah.
Experiment with aligning your action.
Your decisions, your mindset.
With the ebb and flow of nature.
It's an adventure.
It is. Who knows what we'll find?
And you don't have to do it alone.
Right.
Find communities, resources, practices that support you.
Okay, that's great advice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for guiding us through this.
It's been a pleasure.
Really enlightening.
Likewise.
And to our listener, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
On this journey into full moon fusion.
It's been fun.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
I hope so.
And are inspired to tap into those rhythms.
Yeah.
Of your own life.
Exactly.
Until next time.
See you then.
Keep exploring.
Keep growing.
And keep shining your light.
Yes, shine bright.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot with this full moon fusion.
We have. It's a pretty comprehensive program.
It is. Like we've got the monthly themes.
Right, the breath work.
The AI.
All those reflective questions.
And then, like we just talked about, that whole community aspect.
Yeah, that's important.
It is. It's like, you know, you're not just doing this by yourself.
Exactly. You've got support.
Yeah, you've got the digital community, the in-person events.
It's a reminder that even though this is about, like, natural cycles,
right,
it's still very much about human connection.
Yeah. And that makes me think,
oh, yeah,
full moon fusion focuses on the moon, but there are so many other rhythms in nature.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you've got the sun.
Right.
You've got the seasons.
The tides.
The tides.
Even our own bodies.
Exactly. Like, we have our own natural rhythm.
And we kind of forget about those.
Yeah, we We do. We get so caught up in our routines.
Yeah, like trying to work when you're tired.
Exactly. Or scheduling a meeting when you really need some quiet time.
Yeah, it's like we're fighting against ourselves.
We are. But what if we could work with those rhythms?
Okay, yeah, how do we do that?
Like, what if we aligned our work projects with the seasons?
Okay.
Or had those important conversations when we're feeling most communicative?
So instead of just, like,
Yeah.
following a schedule,
We let those rhythms guide us.
it's a big shift.
It is, but it doesn't have to be complicated.
Okay.
Just start by paying attention
To what?
to everything. Notice when you have the most energy,
Okay.
how your mood changes throughout the day.
Okay.
Feel how the air changes as the seasons shift.
So paying attention to my body
Yeah,
and to nature.
exactly. And then use that information to make choices that support you.
Okay, so it's about, like, working with those rhythms
Exactly.
instead of against them.
We're part of something bigger.
Yeah,
We can choose to ignore that, or we can choose to dance with it.
I like that. It's a beautiful way to put it.
Thanks.
So, to our listeners,
Yes.
start noticing those rhythms.
Yeah, pay attention.
Experiment. See what happens when you align yourself.
With the ebb and flow.
Yeah, with those natural cycles.
Exactly.
All right, well, this has been an amazing deep dive.
It has. I've learned a lot.
Me too. Thank you so much for joining us.
It was my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you for listening.
We hope you've enjoyed this exploration of full moon fusion.
I hope it's giving you some food for thought.
Yeah, and maybe inspired you to try some of these practices.
Definitely. Even just paying attention to those rhythms.
That's a great first step.
It is.
All right, until next time,
See you then.
keep exploring, keep growing.
And keep shining your light.
That's it for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.